has been a while since you've seen a kickoff in college football. We remind you, second year you've had the fair catch rule on the kickoff. So if you have inside the own 25-yard line, if you have a fair catch, it's going to come out to the 25, and we're going to start playing from the 25. Well, here it is. There have been other college football games, but this is the first FBS versus FBS game on national television, and it is our privilege to bring it to you on CBS Sports Network. Kickoff in 2020. And it will be South Alabama who starts at the 25-yard line. So you heard about Desmond Trotter from AT, the sophomore from Irondale, Alabama, the grandson of Ozzie Newsome, the Pro Football Hall of Famer, longtime GM of the Ravens, all-time Crimson Tide great. As AT mentioned, closed 2019 with phenomenal 4-touchdown performance in that upset win over Arkansas State. He shared the job as a freshman, now as a sophomore. It is Desmond Trotter's job at quarterback. Trotter pulls it, and it is incomplete. Tried to start with a quick hitter into the hands of Jalen Wayne, and it is incomplete. Trying to get it rolling, and Aaron, just as you expected, trying to get it into the hands of the playmakers. I know you have your eye on the South Alabama offensive line.
Well, they really hold the key to this entire offense. They have to run the ball to make Southern Miss respect them enough and stay balanced so that they can throw when they want to and have time to protect Trotter.
South Alabama 2-10 last year, the only Sun Belt win, the closer. It's a handoff, and Davis has it for a gain of a couple in the Southern Miss defense, who has been stout under Jay Hobson, led by Santrell Latham, the Mike linebacker junior from Meridian, Mississippi. And it is especially the secondary for this Southern Miss Golden Eagle defense, almost elite.
Very good. This was a defense, this nasty bunch that flew around. One of the things they did an extremely good job of is getting after the quarterback, particularly on third down.
And here already, 3rd and long for South Alabama against that aggressive D. And here they come. Trotter steps up and delivers to the outside. Tolbert has it. Tolbert goes rolling. First down. How about touchdown for now? Question where he steps out, but Tolbert goes 73 yards for a touchdown on 3rd and 8. Touchdown, South Alabama.
Got to take a look to see if he stepped out. But what an incredible way to start and jumpstart this offense. That right foot looks good, Carter. This touchdown is going to stand as called. And this coaching staff told us that the Jags needed to start quick to build off the confidence of the way they finished the season a year ago, and they did just that.
Bobble. And now a toss to the end zone on the 2-point. That looked like a bad hold there. Tanner McGee is the 3rd-string quarterback. He's taken over as a holder in place of the punter, Jack Brooks. So McGee ready for a scramble. All right, it's imperfect. That's been a challenge for everyone as well.
It's what we expected. It's what the coaches expected. Maybe not to show up as quickly as it did, but you have to settle down and do what we've done all offseason if you're Southern Miss, and that's relax and adjust.
Well, case in point for Southern Miss, Jalon Adams opted out. He returned 3 kicks for touchdowns last year. So it's Baker and Ragsdale who are back, and it'll be a touch back for Southern Miss, bringing it out to the 25-yard line for the Golden Eagles as the Jags and the Golden Eagles are separated. Abraham, the classic undersized, under-recruited player, grows into a star quarterback, right? Southern Miss, his 3rd collegiate stop after Louisiana Tech, Northwest Mississippi. Now a 3rd-year starter for the Golden Eagles. All the numbers have been big, but the challenge this year, cut down on the interceptions. 15 a year ago as a junior.
Decision-making was a factor, and the factor was he wasn't making decisions. He was hesitant. He wasn't trusting what he was seeing and just letting it rip.
Abraham on first down. This is Ragsdale with the carry. The Jags rally to the football. Southern Miss wants to run the football a whole lot more in 2020, and they will attempt to do so with an offensive line largely back from 2019.
4 returning starters for this unit up front, but you're right, Carter. They were 3rd in the conference running the football, only 117.5 yards per game. That is not good enough. They're looking for more balance under first-year coordinator Matt Kubik.
Abraham shovel toss. That's a completed pass, but it's the same result. No gain. Baker makes the grab, but now here the Golden Eagles are in 3rd and long against the South Alabama defense, which is shuffled all over the place. That's been a big switch for the Jags.
This defense prides itself on being physical up front, particularly in that front 6 or 7. That last tackle was made by Nick Mobley. Led him a season ago with tackles. He's a big run stopper up front, but these guys right here up front on the defensive line of scrimmage, those are going to be the key for the Jags tonight.
Well, 3rd and long was friendly for South Alabama. We'll see how friendly it is for the Golden Eagles. There's motion. Whistle. Electronic whistle.
That's right.
Offside. Defense number 7 jumped in the neutral zone and caused an offensive play to react. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Our referee, Wayne Winkler. Officials will be masked electric whistles.
And that's disappointing. Chris Henderson's one of the old vets on this team, usually provides leadership, but a costly mistake makes this 3rd down conversion much more feasible.
Isn't it amazing? You go into the opener and you have so many things, everything's going to go perfect, and then just one little thing and you're 3rd and 4.
That's football, man.
So we'll get into some more of the COVID-19 adjustments for college football in 2020. But now here we have another one. So back-to-back flags. Those electronic whistles getting an early test here in Hattiesburg from our crew.
False start. Offense number 17. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
As we were getting ready to roll over, we noticed the officials in their van rolling over, and yes, everyone following the testing protocols. Whistles, the electronic whistles are recommended. The masked and the officials were all masked up and ready to roll, heading over to Roberts Stadium here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And they have gotten to use it all early. Back to 3rd and 9. Oh, no. All right, let's figure this one out.
This is going to be on both guards. Look like they win early.
False start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Wayne Winkler, a lot of early camera time in 2020.
I like this Bryce Foxworth, number 68. He's got some nasty to him. He's one of the players that they're looking to get engaged. Kubik really likes the athleticism of this unit. They said they're going to start with the inside zone and work their way out. Inside zone is perfect for Foxworth, but he's got to be smarter because right now the Golden Eagles are marching the wrong way.
And as an offensive lineman, you'd mean nasty as a compliment, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Abraham behind the nasties on 3rd and 14, dragging Brownlee. Wrapped up as the Jags rally to the football well short. Brownlee dropped near the 25-yard line. And it's DeShazer who leads the way. Another flag is down. A.J. DeShazer, the junior rover.
An eligible player downfield, number 89, was covered up at the snap. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down. Correction, that penalty is declined.
Here we go.
4th down.
Makes sense. We've seen enough of 3rd down on this series.
And we've also seen mistakes by both of these teams, and that is part and parcel of just how disjointed this entire offseason has been. Southern Miss needs to settle itself down, but if you're South Alabama, you got to be feeling pretty good how you're starting out of the gate here on the road.
Jalen Wayne is back. Mason Hunt will punt from the 15. Short, but a good roll for the Golden Eagles. Short punt, good roll out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So, South Alabama with a big touchdown.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Verizon. The network more people rely on gives you more. And by Ram. Built to serve.
South Alabama started playing football in 2009, scored a huge season-opening win at Mississippi State in 2016. Then they knocked off a ranked San Diego State team later that year. Now, so Mobile, Alabama with it's a short drive. In fact, they came up on game day. They came up leaving about 4 o'clock today. That's Tolbert, who was tackled on the edge by Brooks on first down. A strong baseball tradition at South Alabama as well, including Luis Gonzalez. Diamondback fans are cheering, Yankees fans are booing, and Marlon Anderson. So a relatively quick run up from Mobile, Alabama to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Nothing doing on second down as well. Carlos Davis wrapped up, and that's Latham on the stop. And now here we are at third down, which was very friendly the last time when Tolbert broke it for 73 yards.
And this is where the Nasty Bunch would like to dial up some pressure. They're pretty aggressive. They put a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of their defensive backs with man coverage. It'll be interesting to see if Pecoraro decides to turn the heat up here.
Desmond Trotter on 3rd and 6. Steps up, quick hitter, delivered, apparently short. We'll see. That is close. It's Tyre, the tight end, who makes the grab. And
if you're South Alabama, you got to go here. This was awfully close, but what are you going to save it for? You're in midfield. Your defense is playing lights out. You don't even think about this. If it's 4th and anything less than a yard, trust that offensive line that you came into the game is going to be there for you. And in fact, they get the first down and move the sticks.
And we may have another look at that one on the spot because it was close and
it looks short to me.
We'll take a look. I think Jay Hobson is making that point right now.
The ruling on the field was a first down. The previous play is under review.
All right. So we'll check the spot because it was close. The initial spot looked like short, but Tyre.
Watch the heads lineman running in from the bottom of the screen here. He's running in right towards the football, and he looks to be inside of the yard to gain marker just beyond that 40-yard line.
And I tell you what, give credit to Swayze Bozeman, not only on the tackle, but maybe even knowing where that first down marker was and swinging Tyre back. So that's senior Sam linebacker and second-year starter Swayze Bozeman. And here he comes up to make the stop on Tyre. Does the football, I mean, the 41 is the line to gain. And looked just short. But again, it was spotted and called 1st and 10.
Clearly right there, Southern Miss only rushing.
After video review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Okay.
All right.
So no indisputable video evidence to overturn it. Let it stand. First down.
Nasty Bunch only rushed 3 that time, trying to force Desmond Trotter to find the holes in that zone defense. He did exactly that for the fresh set of downs.
That makes the Jags 2 for 2 on 3rd down with the TD from Jalen Tolbert. By the way, Tolbert last year averaged 19 yards a catch. This year, 73. Trotter's going to take it on first down. Trotter on the draw, gets across the 45-yard line. Desmond Trotter started the Final Four of 2019. That school record, 4 touchdown passes, all to Jalen Tolbert in the win over Arkansas State. So they didn't win a game in the Sun Belt until that closing win over a good A-State team. So they had a lot of momentum at the end of 2019. Heavy pressure, second down. Trotter steps up and is picked off inside the 15-yard line. Scott has it. Scott across the 30-yard line and brings it all the way back to the 34. That's Eric Scott Jr. Immediate dividends out of Butler Community College, has his first pick as a Golden Eagle.
Southern Miss was dead last in Conference USA last year in turnover margin, so plays like this help. Trotter just got greedy. He felt overconfident throwing the ball to Tolbert into double coverage, and Southern Miss makes him pay.
A takeaway by the Golden Eagle D. Will it be Southern Miss to the top? 5-time Pro Bowler. Jets open at Buffalo. The true freshman running back for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, Frank Gore Jr. 5'8" with tremendous vision. Frank Gore.
Across the board, the coaches told us this isn't your typical true freshman. The kid doesn't flinch. He's got tremendous suddenness, has a knack for finding the running lane. So talking with offensive coordinator Matt Kubik, who's in his first year, he really likes what Frank Gore can do behind this athletic offensive line.
I don't think the toughness in that family is questioned at all. Abraham on the roll, on 1st and 10, looking for the throwback. It's covered. So now Abraham will complete. Boy, he kept the play alive, found Brownlee, has a first down. There is a flag down, but that's Abraham's mobility, which I know you think is a strength. Now first we'll get the call from Wayne Winkler.
Ineligible downfield player, offense number 63, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
These are killers. This is going to be the right tackle, Fletcher, right here. Keep your eye on him getting downfield. Gets a nice block there, but clearly a little bit more than the 3 yards that you're allowed. Give him credit for the aggression, but another costly penalty up front for Southern Miss.
I like to teach you about offensive line play, so we can break that one down in our spare time. Abraham pop, that slip, and it nearly broke. Now 50 is Tim Jones, the big play wide receiver. In fact, the only wide receiver coming back for Southern Miss who had a catch last year. This one for 20.
Yeah, the 3-year starter's Mr. Reliable. He's also the best blocker on the team. The only returning starter or player with a catch for the Golden Eagles a season ago, and he came up big there on that quick slant.
Gallman had a touchdown saving tackle. Now to Ragsdale on the ground. Still has the ball out. Ragsdale's down. Looked like Cole was thinking about coming away with it, but Ragsdale is down. Still not much doing in the running game for the Golden Eagles early on.
Not for either of them, really.
We have, let's see, a combined 8 rushing yards in the game so far.
And they both wanted to come out and establish the run, but the timing of offensive linemen has been really interrupted throughout the summer and the early fall practice, so I'm not surprised by this.
Abraham fakes it, tosses it. That's Grayson Gunner, the graduate transfer from Arkansas, who has his first catch as a Southern Miss Golden Eagle from Madison, Mississippi.
Coaches told us that Gunter really separated himself from the rest of the tight ends. Just a quick bootleg, and he's dragging across. That's the athleticism that you need at that position in the offense, and a little bit of the sprinkling of Matt Kubik, the offensive coordinator.
Hurried up, try to get it back to the run, inside zone. Ragsdale drop, no gain, maybe a loss. Now through the air, you've had 36 yards on the last 2 pass plays. That one went for 16 to Gunter, but clearly Matt Kubik and the Golden Eagles trying to establish the run.
Well, you have to do enough to make the defense play you even so that you can create the matchups and the looks that you want to take advantage of the receivers that you can have to go down the field.
It was Trotter who threw the pick to give the football back to the Golden Eagles. Now Abraham trying to take advantage. Another handoff. Jags rally to the football, shove back. Nothing doing there for Baker. DeShazer leads the way again.
These linebackers are just coming downhill. This is a counter play where you pull 2 backside offensive linemen, but this young defensive line for South Alabama is really winning their matchup early on here. That was the big question mark. That was the strength of the defense a season ago. It was a senior-laden defensive line. They were big and stout. 5 of these 9 players up front are first or second year players, and they're playing pretty well here so far.
Abraham on 3rd and 10. Leaves it high and incomplete. On the hands for Tim Jones, but it was high and it's knocked away. Excellent coverage from Devin Rocket, the senior from Oxford, Mississippi.
A little bit of pressure right as he was throwing the football from the backside. You wonder if it affected him or not. That's a catchable ball by Jones. Not an easy catch, but one he's got to come down with.
Southern Miss, the big loss in the receiving core. Quez Watkins, who led CUSA in receiving yards last year, went to the Eagles, 6th round pick. Mason Hunt won the punting job. Jalen Wayne back for South Alabama. So Golden Eagles get a takeaway on defense, but it results in no points. They'll bounce inside the 5, and the Golden Eagles down, and yes, they do, just inside the 1. So no points on the board off the takeaway, but that is a big-time field position win for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. So give credit. Feel it, and it's real, and I know it's real for you.
Sports has always been the great unifier. It brings together groups that wouldn't ordinarily mix, but it challenges us to listen, to be better people, to push the envelope of what has been the status quo. To your point, it's done an excellent job of bringing you and I together in the friendship that we've developed, and I honor these players and coaches and communities who have done the same in their own ways.
Troutter's going to complete. Tolbert across the 10. You know, in our experiences and conversations, there's a reason why injustice should be uncomfortable, and there's uncomfortable feelings right now, and there should be, and that's one of the reasons we continue to discuss this as we discuss a football game.
This whole process with racial inequality and social justice has forced me to look very hard at myself and answer some questions that I didn't know were there. I had to start honestly with myself about what my own implicit biases were, where my beliefs come from, how willing am I to make other people wrong so that I can feel right. And you're right, it has been uncomfortable, but if we have that willingness to do that, we can continue to evolve and do what this country's done best, and that's adapt. We're not where we need to be, but we have taken some serious steps these last couple months that I hope continue.
And you know, one of the best parts of what we do in sports television is people from all different backgrounds, all different experiences, and on a team, you get to experience that yourself and people's perspectives, and it really has opened it up for us, including as we travel around the country and different places and different circumstances, you begin to understand. And now we have 3rd and 1.
Best down in football.
We will continue the discussions about everything related to college football.
Your Southern Miss, you have to watch Trotter's legs in this situation.
On 3rd and 1, slip it through. Davis breaks a tackle and has a first down. Tough running from Carlos Davis, the sophomore from Muscle Shoals. They call him the Swamper.
He's a swamper, the leading rusher from a season ago. This is just counter football. Winning at the point of attack, Davis elects to bounce it outside. But Carter, this South Alabama offensive line is winning its matchup early. This staff has to be ecstatic about how balanced they've been able to be running the football when they need to.
Trotter now with some more space. Rolling, chased, Trotter all the way back to the 11. Has to heave it to the sidelines. That's a veteran play by the sophomore, making just his 5th start to get away from the pressure and have enough arm strength to get it to the sideline.
This was a combination of coverage on the back end and some late pressure up front. Keep your eye on the right tackle right here. He's going to overset, allowing the defensive end to come up. That's what initially flushes Trotter. Nowhere to go, so when Trotter turns his back and turns around, he has nowhere to dump the ball, so he does what he should do, and that's live to play another down.
Back into helping the front end get pressure on the QB.
And again, 39 sacks a season ago for Southern Miss. They'd love to do it. Now a little miscommunication for South Alabama, forced to take a timeout.
So regroup timeout for the Jags. They have a 6-8 games as a freshman, started 4. On 2nd and 10, pressure picked up. Trotter delivers. It's Tolbert again. Forced out at the 45-yard line, but Trotter to Tolbert is a recipe for success for the Jags.
Southern Miss really respecting the deep speed of Trotter. Look at that cushion. Trotter with the foot in the ground just breaks the route off. Southern Miss defensive backs need to play a little bit more aggressive and try to disrupt the timing, because that ball floated in the air. If they can break on those quicker, they may be able to jump one of those and take it to the house the other way.
That's an 18-yard grab, 89 receiving yards already for Jalen Tolbert. Back to the ground on first down, and a short gain for Terrion Avery, junior from Wiggins, Mississippi.
This run game's not pretty, but these are the body blows, Carter. These are the rhythm that you need to establish. Remember, the offensive line has been one of the position groups most affected by the preparation of COVID because it's all timing, it's all working together, and with that being abbreviated, many coaches across the country have talked about how hard it's been.
Trotter into the heavy pressure on second down. Heaves it long. Holden inside the 5. Jalen Wayne makes a remarkable grab, and he knows it.
No question about Trotter's arm strength, but remember, Wayne had the drop on the first play of the game, but tremendous concentration and hand strength to pluck that ball out of the air.
Wayne Enterprises, first and goal. Fade, but first.
The ruling on the field was a catch. The previous plays under further review.
All right. 49 on the catch for now for Jalen Wayne. Let's have a look.
Pretty tight coverage that time by Southern Miss. But look at the concentration and the body control. The DB's got his arm on his right arm, but Wayne's able to grab that football and keep it up off the ground. Largely one-handed. What an incredible catch.
Okay, you see complete and continuous control of the ball throughout the process of contacting the ground. As Section 4, Article 3 says.
You're seeing what they're looking at because when his body hits the ground, the ball moves a little bit, which it's allowed to do as long as he maintains control, which to me, it looks clearly like Wayne does. Ball's tightly pressed against his body.
You can understand why they wanted to take another look at it, but looks like a tremendous catch from Wayne.
Man.
So you have Wayne 49 if it stands, and then 73 from Tolbert. Here's
After video review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
First and goal. Well, now you question, all right, when they were trying to hurry up and get it into the hands of Tolbert on that fade, do you go right back to Tolbert on the fade, or do you go elsewhere? Tonight's Red Zone brought to you by Verizon. South Alabama last year, much room for improvement. Only 53% touchdown percentage last year.
Get Trotter outside the pocket, give him a two-way go here.
Baker in motion. Oh, a handoff, and it is Avery. And Avery is in. Touchdown, Jags. Terrion Avery takes it in after the 49-yard grab by Jalen Wayne set it up.
This game couldn't have started off any better offensively for South Alabama. This offensive line that they challenged, just great combination blocks, and the sustaining backside was the difference there.
Botch on the hold on the PAT, snap down, hold down, and the PAT is good. So 13-0 South Alabama. The Jags ready to roll in Hattiesburg.
Carter, what got this play jump-started was Trotter to Jalen Wayne showing tremendous concentration to track that ball over his back, and it ends up leading to the touchdown we just saw with tremendous push off that left side of the offensive line. Tyler Jernigan, that left guard spot, Wyatt Green, and center Brian Ankerson more than doing their job up front. The big guys getting it done.
I mentioned Jernigan at left guard. He gets a start because Hayden Merchant and Trey Simpson both injured. So South Alabama shuffled its offensive line this week in order to get ready for the opener, and they are pushing around the Golden Eagles early on.
The coaches told us they struggled a little bit early on in camp. Their defense was able to take advantage of them. There were some question marks around this group and this offense and whether or not they were going to be able to do enough to allow Trotter to wheel and deal to his receivers like he's done so far.
And this is a South Alabama offense that over half the all-purpose yards taken in special teams from Trey Minter, who was an electric playmaker for South Alabama. So, I mean, they had to retool big time as well without Mentor. He was a weapon. Touchback, bring it out to the 25 for the Golden Eagles with South Alabama up 13-0. Sunday night, 8 Eastern, CBS Sports Network hits the hardwood for a WNBA showdown in the bubble. The Chicago Sky battle Candace Parker and the Los Angeles Sparks on CBS Sports Network. Watching WNBA this summer with my March Madness partner, Debbie Antonelli. The Dream getting a big win over Liberty earlier tonight on CBS Sports Network. Meanwhile, Jack Abraham and the Southern Miss Golden Eagles need to get some offense rolling. 41 so far, and on the ground only 1 rushing yard, and you can turn that into a minus as Frank Gore Jr. is greeted by a group of Jags and dropped by Kelvin Johnson leading the way.
Jeremiah Littles, watch them stunt to their left. Southern Miss is right. There's no running lanes, and then coming off the outside edge is Kelvin Johnson to force it back inside. This is the exact sort of production that you want up front to stifle that running game.
Nasty in that tackle there from Kelvin Johnson.
Southern Miss looks lost up front.
A first quarter owned by the Jags. Abraham and the Golden Eagles trying. Not done so far. Brownlee, the intended receiver, and then Ryan Melton, who got the start at corner tonight. West Point, Mississippi.
Seeing receivers on both sides of the football tonight having some concentration drops. The ball's in their hand, but maybe being too excited because they're here early trying to turn and run before they've secured the catch.
I'll say this about Jack Abraham, the veteran quarterback, visiting with a longtime voice. The Golden Eagles, John Cox, said, biggest thing about the young man you need to know is with this young group of receivers, he's been out there throwing late every day. So trying to get the rhythm down, and yet there is little rhythm for Jack Abraham and the Golden Eagles. Janarius Johnson gets the sack.
Janarius Johnson filling in the shoes for last year for Sean Brown, who's a big 325-pounder. They're just rushing 3, but look at the push and the bull rush. Stays alive, is able to disengage and take Abraham to the ground.
Say it again. Janarius Johnson, representing Gulfport, Mississippi.
The 2 biggest question marks for South Alabama coming into this season have answered the call mightily here early.
And that leads you to a 13-0 start for South Alabama. Before the punt from Hunt, it is the end of the first quarter.
This is the end of the first quarter.
And we love the fact that everyone at CBS Sports, ending with Sean McManus and David Burson, and everyone at CBS Sports has been extremely supportive of the health and safety measures.
Amen.
Mason Hunt, side of the foot. Yeah, amen.
Amen to that, Carter. And when it rains, it pours for Southern Miss. But that last drive, man, South Alabama was all about it. Getting the football to Tolbert, being able to deliver some deep balls, hitting number 4, Jalen Wayne. And then it was the offensive line in this back by committee. Terrian Avery putting things down to cap off a 99-yard drive, Carter. This offense is light years ahead of where it was a season ago.
So field position better this time for the Jags. Trotter, hands off, hole on the right side, closes quickly. Now Wilson wasn't sure whether he got stopped or not, but he is brought down. Josh Ratcliffe, Barnes there for the Golden Eagles, Tyler Barnes.
Barnes came up and brought it right there. That was a nice physical tackle, and that's what this defense needs for Southern Miss. They need some sort of juice play, a spark play, another turnover, because right now the Jags seem pretty confident in what they can run, especially when they take deep shots.
Yardage dominant by South Alabama. That one is tipped, and there's your spark. It is picked off, intercepted. Barnes has the INT.
This is when keeping it real goes wrong, running play action with that split flow zone, bringing the tight end Brandon Crum across the backside of the offense. Just some late pressure there, and Barnes with back-to-back nice plays, the exact spark we were just talking about.
So the second pick by the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, and don't think I missed, when keeping it real goes wrong.
That play action was working wonders for him, but the tight end coming across missed the edge pressure, which forced the interception.
A bad night thus far for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Can Jack Abraham try and turn it around? Complete on the edge, slipping away. That's Antavius Willis, the redshirt freshman. Camden, Mississippi, with a nice wiggle after the grab.
Kelvin Johnson was there to clean it up after he broke free there. If you're Southern Miss, that's what you should do. Get the ball out of the quarterback hands quickly into your playmakers and let them make people miss in space. Force South Alabama to tackle you.
2nd and 2. Hand off just enough. Frank Gore Jr. has the first down as the Golden Eagles yet again try to get something going. I mean, thanks to a sack on the rush yards, it was minus 10 rushing yards prior to that first down carry by Gore.
But the running game is something that often takes time. You can't abandon it and panic. You have to take those body blows. That's a great conversion right there. Get the true freshman in there. Let him get acclimated to the speed of the game so he can settle down. They can turn this thing on.
Fake it, toss it. That's Willis again. Willis across the 45. Golden Eagles out to near midfield. Second grab of the drive as Southern Miss tries to get it into the hands of Antavius Willis. That goes for 16.
The redshirt freshman doing a good job again of catching and running after the catch. I like the strategy here by Southern Miss, dealing the ball quickly and getting it out of the quarterback's hands.
So off the second takeaway from the Southern Miss D. There's Matt Kubik. Said we'll see a whole lot of 12 personnel. 2 tight ends. Now you're down 13-0, but you're advocating, Ragsdale, you're advocating exactly that. Stick with the run no matter what.
You can't run counter anything up inside if there's penetration. South Alabama, again, a season ago, the strength was up front, but they haven't skipped a beat. There's a lot of young faces in there that are getting the job done and winning their matchup. That makes it extremely hard to run the football game and even harder for Kubik to call it. Great shot there, Bryce Foxworth, 68. They need him to start turning it on.
Abraham fakes it, toss it out of the backfield. That's Gunter, the tight end, with a flag down. Gunter gets to the 45. Grad transfer from Arkansas. Now we check the flag.
It's going to be a holding on McCoy. Number 87 was in good position but grabbed at the very end.
Holding offense number 87, 10-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
You get the holding calls every time.
You're out there all by yourself in the open field. If you restrict the movement of the defender, they're going to see it every time. You see the center judge right there looking at that left hand, impeding the defender who's trying to get free. That's an easy one.
That's a textbook hold. In space.
His hands were inside, but still, you got to know how to play it and when to let go. Made a living on that.
I was going to say, spoken like literally a true professional. On 2nd and 18, Abraham on the roll. Complete across the 50-yard line. Tim Jones holds it in near the 49, and Melton makes the stop.
Tim Jones, Mr. Reliable. I like the strategy here. Get the ball out of the quarterback hand. Let Abraham break the pocket, change his release point, and force South Alabama to continue to tackle. He's getting into a nice rhythm here. They really need to convert this 3rd down. Can they protect?
Jack to the sideline, and Kubik before 3rd and 8. Here comes the pressure. Abraham steps up, delivers downfield. Wow! It is caught, and it is 1st and goal, Golden Eagles. Abraham goes up top to Tim Jones, the preseason All-Conference USA receiver, makes the grab.
This was an incredible adjustment back to the ball by Jones. Great concentration, really nice coverage that time, coverage by Flanord. But Jones, the trusty receiver, comes through big time.
47 yards, sets up 1st and goal. Abraham snaps it, hands to Ragsdale. Nothing doing on the left side. Melton makes the stop. 2nd and goal. Some shoving. They're going to let that one go for now from Bryce Foxworth.
That's the guy that brings some nasty. This is where your offensive line needs to take over. You get inside the 5-yard line. You want to exert your will. This would be a tremendous confidence booster if they could cap this drive off on the ground. Let's see what the offensive coordinator, Matt Kubik, dials up here. Remember, Abraham has some mobility.
Abraham's going to hand off to Ragsdale. Spinning, pushing. Ragsdale is in. Touchdown, Southern Miss. Off the interception by Tyler Burns, taking it away from the Jags. The 2nd takeaway turns into a touchdown for the Golden Eagles.
Just good, hard, physical running and a missed tackle there at the point of attack. The flow is there, but it's the desire and want to get the nose of the football just to break the plane of the goal line before his knee touches that seals the deal.
You talk about sticking to the run game, and pays off with a rushing touchdown. The first for Ragsdale, the transfer from Hines Community College. So Ragsdale into the end zone, PAT is good. So the 2nd INT thrown by Desmond Trotter turns into points. Barnes takes it away. The big play from Jones sets up the touchdown run from Don Ragsdale. Southern on the board at the Rock.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard
Outside of sports.
As student athletes, we have a platform.
Andrew Zink.
Kind of feeling the Magnum PI look you're rocking tonight, though.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hey, you having fun?
I am having fun, buddy. It's good to be back. It's good to be back with you, watching ball. These guys are settling down, and they're going to give us a good game.
Woo, and they're hitting on the kickoff return. Baker is wrestled down near the 13-yard line, leading us right to our player profile, brought to you by Corona Premier and Kawan Baker, an explosive playmaker. He had TD plays of 74 and 75 yards last year.
Yeah, he led the team in receptions and receiving yards in his top 10 in 10 different scoring categories. He's been Mr. Reliable, and when he's got the ball in his hands, he's been effective on the ground as well.
And yet, because of the good kick coverage by Southern Miss, it is Desmond Trotter and South Alabama who's backed up. Brooks makes the stop on 1st down.
The jet sweep game to the wide receivers forces defenses to flatten out. That can also open things back up inside. So not surprised that Kenny Edenfeld, the offensive coordinator's going to the old reliable. That's usually where we see Kawan Baker making his presence felt. But 2nd and 4, your playbook's wide open. They love the situation they're in right here.
After the 6-yard gain from Lacey on the ground, this is Davis who finds the edge, tiptoeing on the sideline out to the 30. So they were backed up to the 13. And because, again, of the effective running game for South Alabama, rolling.
Keep your eye right here on Tyler Jernigan. Gets the reach on the wide 3 technique, gets his head across and gives up a little ground, but puts enough pressure on the defender to allow Carlos Davis to get the 1st down over the outside.
That's a gain of 8. 14 rushing yards on the last 2 plays. Jernigan got the start at left guard because of a couple injuries. Pass to the outside. That is Wayne who makes the grab. He is met immediately and dropped down by Scott, but it's still a gain of 6.
We've seen Trotter take some deep shots downfield, but that's the 3rd or 4th ball that he's thrown to the perimeter that's kind of floated and taken some time. I wouldn't be surprised before this game is over if we don't see Southern Miss try to jump one of those out routes.
Already 2 picks for the Golden Eagle defense. Last one turned into the Southern Miss touchdown. Trotter threw only 2 picks last year in the 8 games he played. And off, this is Carlos Davis. Gets to the 40-yard line with a good block by Tyre on the edge. That's a gain of 5. Swayze Bozeman.
Offensive line now, they're running some stretch plays to get Southern Miss running in space, and these backs are putting their foot in the ground and getting north and south.
High snap, Trotter handles it. Play action. Floats it to the outside. That is caught across the 50-yard line into Golden Eagle territory. Kawan Baker. First down for the Jags. Gain of 11.
That's one of the things that Southern Miss defensive coordinator Tony Pecoraro said that Trotter does best is throw on the move. That's a beautiful touch, allowing Baker to catch it in stride to move the sticks. A lot of substitutions with these guys in and out, conditioning a challenge for both these teams.
Trotter's going to give it to Avery, who had the touchdown run, and a tough run for Terrion Avery on first down.
Avery had some nice bursts there. Defensive lineman number 95, Andrew Cole for Southern Miss, won his matchup at the point of attack but couldn't close and make the tackle for loss in the backfield.
7th play of the drive. They started back at the 13. Had a 99-yard drive at South Alabama. Second touchdown.
With the way they're running the football, 2nd and 4 at this field position, this is a perfect shot for a deep shot.
Trotter is going to pull it. Trotter slips away, gets a block on the edge. Trotter knocked out of bounds near the 30-yard line. What a play by Desmond Trotter.
This play was dead in the water, but that shows you how athletic Trotter is. It was a busted play. There was some pressure off the side, but right there he pulls it, runs away from 2 defenders, and a great block right there by Tolbert springs them for another first down.
Oh, don't you know his quarterback loves that? The star wide receiver blocking on the edge for the QB.
Ain't nothing better than receivers that can block.
Have a Golden Eagle who is down. That is
outside edge. He's a backup linebacker. These last couple weeks, there's been 6 Southern Miss players that opted out as we take a look at the offensive coordinator for South Alabama, Kenny Edenfeld, who's got to be pretty excited about what his offense has been able to do, particularly on this series, by dialing up that run game. Minus the 2 mistakes by Trotter with the interceptions, they played pretty well.
He was at Troy for 10 years, his alma mater. Trotter looks like another busted play, so he just dumps it back to the line of scrimmage, incomplete. He was chased off the edge by Eric Scott Jr. coming on the Cowboy.
That corner blitz off the outside edge, and credit Trotter. It was a busted play right there, but just thinking heads up and being quick, gets rid of the football and avoids the sack. Yeah, always watch that boundary cat, Carter.
Yeah. Got to watch the Cowboy and the cat. Especially the cat Cowboy. Trotter pull this one. He takes a pop on 2nd and 10. That's Avery Habas, sophomore from Rice Lake, Wisconsin, Iowa Western Community College. So he actually has 3 years of eligibility, and they think Habas is going to be really good.
Carter,
perfect.
Take a look at this. They're perfect tonight on 3rd down. They were dead last in the Sun Belt a season ago, but they're keeping it to 3rd and manageable, and Trotter's done a really nice job of moving the sticks when they get an opportunity.
There were only 6 teams worse in the FBS on 3rd down last year, and yet perfect start in 2020 for Trotter and the Jags. Going to get a timeout, Southern Miss, prior to this.
Timeout, Southern Miss, they're first.
3rd and 3. You know, this is the second time the Jags have been backed up. First time on a 99-yard drive. I mean, Trotter was red hot to start.
And he got that ball to Jalen Tolbert, and this gave everybody confidence. This offense wanted to start quickly, and they did just that. The concentration and body control by Wayne. But then it was the ill-advised decision, kind of playing 3 flies up into double coverage, then hit as he throws for the 2nd interception based on a missed block by the backside tight end. It's been a little bit of a mixed bag statistically, but again, you remove those 2 interceptions, one of which he was hit as he thrown. He's done a pretty dang good job running this offense, and his receivers that are the strength of this unit have more than bailed him out.
I'll tell you what, you go 99 yards on a touchdown drive for South Alabama. Now this drive started at the 13, so they have moved the football out of some difficult situations against the Golden Eagles.
There's 6 minutes left in the 2nd quarter, and they've got 250 yards of offense against a defense that hasn't finished worse than 3rd in the last 5 years in conference.
And a handoff on 3rd and 3. Davis trying to find the edge. He is wrestled down and dropped. Malik Shorts, the sophomore strong safety from Bassfield, Mississippi, with Maples.
Yeah, he got himself healthy, got back in and made a play. This is decision time for South Alabama. With the way your defense is playing, do you take a chance here and try and convert, or attempt your first field goal of the offseason?
That's the first tackle for loss today by Southern Miss. Guajardo on for the field goal, and it is no good from 46. That is Guajardo's first field goal attempt. He kicked off last year on Guajardo attempting the 46-yarder. And good news for the Golden Eagles. Nothing more playing this fall, and maybe we should say yet.
9 of the top 25 and 3 of the top 10. Just one of the many ways that this season is bizarre. And to your point about yet, the Pac-12 and Big Ten postponing their season. There's been rumors and talk about whether or not they play this fall in October or November or December 1st. But in a season that has been uncertain with some unprecedented things, that first top 25 in the state of college football, and whether you have 2 playoffs or not, can you get a full spring season in? What happens to the players that are draft eligible? A lot to chew on.
It's Gore who has the first down carry. 25% capacity here at the Rock Roberts Stadium, but it is going to be a challenge throughout college football to make all of those determinations for every conference, every school. We are just at the beginning. On the field, Gore picks up 11. Give it right back to him. So Gore gets 6 more. Take it to the 45, and you can feel the flow from Frank Gore Jr.
They're going to the big boy football up front. That was a wham play where you bring the tight end and lead him up through on the nose tackle to get a double team at the point of the attack. Gore puts his foot in the ground and squirts forward for a nice pickup.
After South Alabama has dominated, no points on the last drive, and the Golden Eagles a chance to tie or take the lead before halftime after they have had very little going on the offensive side.
This front 7 of South Alabama makes a nice adjustment there. Southern Miss is only 1 for 4 on 3rd down tonight because their average distance to go has almost been 11 yards. This is a 3rd and 3 they've got to get, and with the way this offensive line's playing, I'd say turn around and hand it off and let them pick it up.
Timeout. Second used by Southern Miss prior to this 3rd and 3.
It'll be 30 seconds.
And a veteran quarterback, I mean, that's you know this is a critical 3rd down. I mean, you drive, take this one in, you can get back-to-back TDs, and Southern Miss is right there in the ball game. So critical 3rd down, Abraham uses the timeout.
It's been an up and down night. Certainly the last drive ended the way that you want it to. But to your point, this is a critical point in the ball game. This Southern Miss team, really on both sides of the ball, has been kind of listless, trying to find its way. Both these coaching staffs talking about you got to bring your own juice. The defense has done that, getting a couple interceptions, but offensively, I'm a little surprised at how much Southern Miss has struggled to move the football tonight.
This reminds me, if you had a juice draft, which juice would you take in the first round?
Pineapple orange is hard to beat.
Well, I'm with you.
They make good ghetto popsicles for kids too now.
So out of the timeout, 3rd and 3 with 4 minutes to go. And, you know, you have that feeling for South Alabama. Everything, I mean, yeah, Trotter's thrown 2 picks, but everything has been rolling for the Jags. Big 3rd down both sides. On 3rd and 3, perfectly designed. Gunner has it, takes it inside the 40. First down, Southern Miss. Beautiful play.
Beautiful design there, and Gunter sitting in that wing spot. There's going to be some pressure off that outside edge, which frees Gunner up. Just a quick pitch and catch. And when Southern Miss gets the football out of Abraham's hands quickly, they're efficient.
Gunner, the former Arkansas Razorback. Immediate impact for the Golden Eagles. Abraham and Southern Miss starting to feel it. Handles the low snap. Hands off. Gore, Jags rally to the football. Jamie Sheriff, who started at defensive end, in there on the tackle. DeShazer as well.
Low snaps are tough because it throws off the timing of the play. I don't know if it would have mattered there because the Jags defense were canceling gaps left and right, leaving the backs nowhere to run.
Trace Clopton and Jack Abraham have been doing this for a while. Clopton started at center since day one as a Golden Eagle. Like for his dad Tommy in high school. And off again, Gore, nothing there, and now you got 3rd and 9.
He's got unblocked defenders off that backside. Number 11, Jamie Sheriff, a JUCO transfer. Nobody picks him up. The tight end, I don't know if he was supposed to get him coming across on the split flow zone, but you can't have somebody as big as Sheriff unblocked, and that's going to be the result.
Officially call it 3rd and 8 on a gain of 1 from Gore. Williams goes in motion. Abraham keeper on 3rd and 8. We'll see.
I don't mind that play call there, Carter.
And you know what? Correction here. Rather than Abraham, it was Watley on the carry. So that's Tate Watley, the junior, who's in on.
Before the ball was snapped, timeout, South Alabama.
Oh, wow.
They're second.
So that was Watley
It'll
who
be 30 seconds.
relieved the injured Jack Abraham in the Armed Forces Bowl, separated shoulder, and Watley and the offense struggled in that game, but Southern Miss does plan on using Watley in certain packages. However, timeout granted to South Alabama, and now we're going to have 3rd and 8 again.
South Alabama wanted an opportunity to be able to talk about it.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 2 minutes.
Discuss it. All right, timeout granted. Makes sense. Now,
the question becomes, who's your quarterback and what's your next play call here?
So who is your quarterback? What's your next play call here? It's going to be Abraham.
So now you have to respect his ability to throw the football, but just like we saw with Watley, Abraham can run. But these young receivers need to step up and make a play. Again, it's been the balls that get out of his hand quickly that have been the most effective. Southern Miss crowding the line of scrimmage, maybe wanting to make him throw this ball more quickly. Only rush 3 though.
Abraham completes. That's Jones slipping free inside the 25-yard line. Tim Jones on the pass from Abraham. Gain of 12, 1st down, Southern Miss.
Great job of Jones getting open, sitting right over the spot of the ball. Abraham dumps it off to him, and then a missed tackle right there in the middle allows Jones to move the sticks. Tackling been an issue on both sides of the football, but a huge conversion to keep this drive alive by the Golden Eagles.
Darrell Luter Jr. finally finishes off the tackle. Junior corner from Hattiesburg. So after the first touchdown drive was a TD run by Ragsdale. On the ground, Gore trying to find the edge. Gore wrestled down on the edge. That's Luter again at corner, but Gore manages to fall forward. So Luter had him wrapped up, but still positive run for Frank Gore Jr.
Coker Wright, the right guard, number 60. Keep your eye on him. If you can see him squirt out, he gets a pancake right there. And just enough to let Gore put his foot in the ground and get to the outside. That's the explosiveness and being able to create something out of nothing that these coaches have been raving about.
Gore is the run game right now for Southern Miss. Set it up on the screen for Jones. Luter there to blow it up, however. Fighting through. Jones gets 7, gets it to the 11. And so it will be 1st and 10, just outside the 10.
Down here in the red zone, I'm not surprised to see that. Coaches always say it's not about plays, it's about players. Get the football into the hands of your best players. And on the outside, what we've seen so far, that's 21, Frank Gore Jr., and number 5, Tim Jones.
10th play of the drive. Abraham fakes it, tosses it. That's Willis with a block on the edge. Willis takes it down to the 6-yard line. McCoy with a good block for Antavius Willis.
You're getting down here with almost a minute left in the second quarter. Both these teams with one timeout. Southern Miss not really in a hurry, bleed the clock. You've got some time, 2nd and 5. They can still pick up a first down.
8 straight completions from Abraham. And now Gore pushing. Takes 3 and he shovels it. Abraham, touchdown. Gore to Abraham. Golden Eagle touchdown. Frank Gore Jr. with the fabulous football instincts.
Coaches told us
the runner's forward progress was stopped before the backward pass. 3rd down.
So bring it back.
That would be a killer. Coaches told us that Gore just has a knack and a feel for the game. That is an ill-advised play, but one you can only make if you're confident and know what it takes to win, to have the wherewithal to look up here, see a defender in your face and pitch the ball to your quarterback. To be even able to do that as a true freshman is remarkable, but unfortunately this one's coming back off the board.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you can understand why Jay Hobson is upset, because that one was blown dead forward progress, so wipe it out. So that's one of the better football plays that won't result in the touchdown. I mean, I understand you want to protect the football, but
Southern Miss, they're 2nd.
And what's interesting, Carter, is remember the officials this year are going to the electronic whistles.
Correction, Southern Miss is 3rd and final timeout.
And they said that they were putting them on their hips specifically so that they wouldn't be in a rush to be able to hit the buzzer in their hand and be too quick with the whistles.
let's listen. We didn't hear it. Now again, different whistles, electronic whistles, it's different, technology is different, but we've heard whistles, did not hear one there. And you can understand why Jay Hobson is hot about that, because you take a touchdown off the board.
That's got to be frustrating, especially a heads-up play by the true freshman to give his team a chance to take the lead here at the end of the second quarter.
And now you got to regroup and get ready for 3rd and 4.
Southern Miss using your tight end down here, play action. You've got to take a shot at the end zone. If you get stopped before you go in, it's going to be virtually impossible, or very difficult rather, to get another playoff. Look for Abraham to throw the football, maybe off a play action, trying to get it into Tim Jones or to his tight end's hands.
All right, 3rd and 4, 25 seconds left in the half.
Jones here in the slot.
Abraham on the roll. Gets chipped. Abraham is just going to roll out of bounds. 19 seconds, stopping 18 seconds, 4th down. And we'll see if the kicking unit comes out. I mean, you would think you'd take the points at this point. In fact, they will. Andrew Stein will come on to kick. But so the touchdown wiped off because of the forward progress stopped on that Gore to Abraham. And you know that one's going to burn for Hobson and the Golden Eagles.
Burn big time, but this is the right decision to kick this field goal. They can get to 10 points, and remember, Southern Miss gets the ball to start the second half.
And it's Bourgeois who comes on for the field
illegal
goal
substitution.
Attempts.
Kicking team had more than 11 players in the formation. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Not a big deal. 5 yards maybe even makes it a little bit easier for Bourgeois there. But
clock was not run.
Rather than Stein coming out, who handled the placements last year, Bourgeois will come out for just his 3rd field goal attempt, 25-yarder. It's good, 3 on the board. But rather than a touchdown on the flip from Gore to Abraham, that would have given Southern Miss a shot at a PAT to take the lead. It's 3 more on the board. Second quarter is also waning. 13-0 start for South Alabama. Touchdown on the ground for Southern Miss to get it started, with Don Ragsdale almost had another one on the ground, but then wiped off because Frank Gore Jr. before the flip was ruled down. Forward progress stopped, so 3 more on the board, and the Jags will have another chance with 14 seconds if they want to try it again. Be caught by the 28, so keeping it out of the hands of Tolbert, especially late in the half on the kickoff from Bourgeois. So coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join Adam Zucker, Rick Neuheisel, Brian Jones. Get you caught up on everything college football related. The other matchup tonight between a Conference USA team and a Sun Belt team.
Game
Central
clock operator,
Arkansas
please.
and UAB has turned into a shootout. So all that and important updates, including their conversation with Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott earlier tonight. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. New quarterback for South Alabama. This is Chance Lovertich. So we'll see what they do with him, but the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College transfer Bulldogs went 12-0, JUCO National Championship, and they like Lovertich, so they will play him. Caught on the edge, out of bounds. Wayne makes the grab, and Lovertich is a weapon as well.
They love that he can play. He's not that big, but they like the way that he can deal the football. How about the confidence with 14 seconds here in the half to go? They let him throw on his first play of the season as well as this game. Remember, with the one time out there, they can take some deep shots if they get it over the middle. But you'd have to imagine.
Almost picked by Maple. So 5 seconds. You factor into this for South Alabama. This may be where you take a knee because you don't have much confidence in your kicking game in Guajardo. I mean, the kicking game has really been a struggle last couple of years for South Alabama. So when you factor that in, 5 seconds, we'll see. Maybe you take a shot, but after that was nearly picked.
Go ahead and kneel this one out and jog it on out. Regroup, and that looks like exactly what they're going to do. That last pass was ill-advised. Not a good decision there. Certainly not.
So take the lead to the half. Yeah, South Alabama got off to the 13-0 start, 10 unanswered for Southern Miss, but for the Jags, a solid start to 2020. Steve Campbell has to be pleased with a 3-point lead on the road. So coming up, we'll send you to the Verizon Halftime Report here. So that means the team-wise, they have less rushing yards than Frank Gore Jr. had. But it will be Southern Miss football to begin the second half. South Alabama out of the Sun Belt. They won only one Sun Belt game last year, but it was their closer against a good Arkansas State team. They jumped out early against the Golden Eagles, let it go for a touchback, bring it out to the 25-yard line on the kickoff from Guajardo. So Jack Abraham, the fifth-year senior who is from Oxford, Mississippi, 3 straight state title games as quarterback of the Oxford High School Chargers. Actually lost all 3, but Louisiana Tech, Northwest Mississippi Community College with one of his former high school coaches, and then now on to Southern Miss. He's had a remarkable Southern Miss career, avoided an interception in that first half, and that was the big mark that you had for Jack Abraham.
He's been dealing tonight. 12 for 14, 162 yards. Look for more of him to Tim Jones.
Abraham winds up, takes a deep shot to begin the second half. It is knocked away, incomplete. No flags. He was looking for Jones and knocked away by Ryan Melton, ending the streak of 8 straight completions.
Melton is what you call in phase. Got that right arm wrapped around Tim Jones's left arm, interfering with the catch, but because of his proximity being shoulder to shoulder, they don't throw the flag there. It's a savvy, subtle technique there by the DB.
That's a big time breakup from Melton. Gore gets it on 2nd and 10, and he's dropped for a loss immediately after Gore grabs it. He is down. Maurice Strong Jr., the sophomore defensive end, tackle for loss.
Defensive end was a position that they were hit hard with a season ago, but Strong coming from that backside. Believe he's right here. Keep your eye just closing and squeezing the gap, sees the tackle disappear, comes off that backside. A man that big is not expected to be able to tackle the back, being unblocked from that backside, but the big dude is hunting.
On 3rd and long. Abraham pressured. Release is incomplete. The pressure forced him to get rid of it as Jones was dragging. And Jones would have had a catch and run. But Riley Cole gets the pressure.
Riley Cole was a very savvy pass rusher a season ago. Played outside linebacker. This year they moved him inside, but on passing situations, still like him to come off that outside edge. Defensive coordinator Greg Stewart telling us in 30 years that he's been coaching, Cole has the best motor he's ever seen.
That's amazing.
I don't know if there's a better compliment from a coach to a player than to respect his tenacity and want to.
Riley Cole's already earned his degree as well. Hunt had some struggles in the first half. This one hits around the 44. It'll be down 44 or 43. We will check. So South Alabama football, but Desmond Trotter. This is late in the first half. As we look back at this play, it was Maples who left the game, but looks like Trotter may have taken a pop. So then right before the start of the second half, that's Trotter trying to get it warmed up, but you can see that Trotter clearly something bothering him there. So keep an eye on that, and also keep an eye on Chance Lovertich. He had the last series of the first half, but it is Trotter winding up again and heaving long, batted away, incomplete. It was intended for Tolbert, and Eric Scott Jr. breaks it up.
Scott Jr. has been on fire tonight, is able to close on this football. Look at the eyes and the concentration, gets his hands to be able to break the pass up with Tolbert, who's got some pretty strong hands. But both of these offenses coming out early on first down, taking some deep shots, but good defensive back play nullified the result.
Trotter's going to hand off on second down. Slipping away, Carlos Davis. Davis takes it across midfield. Fight for the football at the end. Hemby says he had it. We'll see if they mark Davis down before Hemby comes away with the football. That's Kyle Hemby, the all-conference free safety.
On the field was the runner was down before the ball came loose. First down.
Eludes two defenders. The third one hits him. It's hard to see from that angle.
Jags may want to snap this.
Real quick.
Move Tyre into the backfield, snap it. Now it's in the books. Give it to Davis. Try to find the corner again. Davis brought down by Maples. Nothing doing on first down.
Something looked off on the timing there with the mesh between Trotter and the back. Is 32 Hayes Maples coming up a little gimpy again. Remember, he got injured early on in the first quarter, first half, and he goes down. Something's not right, grabbing that right knee.
This will be the second time that Hayes Maples has had to go to the Southern Miss sideline. I haven't seen Swayze Bozeman in a while either. We'll see if there's any update there.
Can't see anything really there. There was some torque and twist with the way Davis spun and broke to the inside, but he's walking off on his own power, and that's always a good sign. You know, Carter, injuries have been one of the things I've been curious about as this season goes on. With no spring practice, limited or interrupted fall preparation, you wonder if there's going to be more soft tissue injuries just from lack of use. Football is a sport that requires you to become calloused, to get your body conditioned to take the pounding that goes on. We haven't seen that much here tonight, but something to give our eye on this season.
Trotter hit as he throws, completes, delivers to Baker with a stiff arm, takes it to near the 35. Kawan Baker. Good effort from both Trotter and Baker.
Good release backside by Trotter to come and get himself open. Beautiful ball right there on the hip, a little bit behind, but that's the second time they've run that to Baker, and the second time they've been successful.
Tyreek Moody makes a stop, gain of 7.
Throwing on the move is not easy for a lot of quarterbacks to do, but Trotter makes it seem like it is.
Trotter hit as he throws again. That was nearly another pick. It was low. Trotter was drilled. Brooks nearly had the third pick off of Desmond Trotter. It's 4th down.
That's unfortunate, a 3rd and 3 situation, but there was a lot of confusion. Looked like the right side of that offensive line thought that there was going to be offsides or something, but South Alabama's thinking about going for this. The way their offense has been humming, I like this decision. Be aggressive. This is a 3-point ball game, but to do so, get Trotter outside the pocket in case nothing's there. He can pick it up with his legs.
Still haven't punted tonight, South Alabama. Play clock winding. 3 seconds. 2. They get it all. Trotter completes. And it is a 4th down conversion. Baker has it, and he's still on his feet. Baker inside the 20. Wrestled out of bounds. A tough tackle from Malik Shorts. Flag is down. For now, gain of 20. 1st down, 4th down conversion.
Great catch and run there by the leading receiver from a season ago.
Offense number 8. 10-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
That's a killer. That's on wide receiver Jalen Tolbert. Playing with great effort. Coaches were complimenting his ability to be a great blocker and great receiver, but he cost his team big time with that 4th down conversion.
And now we'll see if the extra 5 yards changes your 4th down decision. Steve Campbell.
There he is on the hash right there, turns. Right here, very late with both hands around, just a bad technique, and then bulldogs him down to the ground. Just unnecessary there by Tolbert. All he had to do was splash him or position block him and would have accomplished the same thing.
So from the spot of the foul, my bad on that 4th down distance, you got from the spot of the foul on the hold. So that's why you have 4th down and short. Now, that doesn't change what you're thinking.
It doesn't change anything.
Please reset the game clock to 11 minutes, 51 seconds. 11:51 on the game clock, please.
But I tell you what it does do is it changes your thinking on the play call. Instead of throwing the football to Quan Baker, put Carlos Davis in there or sneak this thing.
Get it jumbo Trotter with a good push, and that's easily a 1st down for South Alabama. So despite the flag for holding that wiped out the 4th down conversion, they pick it up anyway and keep the drive alive.
I can't tell you how much this speaks to the offensive line and the confidence that this staff has in that unit. That was one of the big question marks coming into this game, was with these guys, 4 returning starters, with some new faces with Tyler Jernigan in there, be able to hold up, and they've more than done that.
Give it to Davis on 1st and 10. Carlos Davis slips out. How did he get out of there to the 31? Davis kept it alive and just squirmed away from the Golden Eagles. It's a remarkable gain of 2.
Being stout against the run is what the Golden Eagles do. Some great jobs of getting hats to the football, defeating blocks, crossing faces, but they didn't finish. And because of the second effort by Davis, he gets something out of nothing, which should have been a 2 or 3 yard tackle for loss, putting him behind the chains. They get a small pickup out of it.
7 plays, 33 yards so far on this one for South Alabama. And now Trotter, heavy pressure, tries to dump it off. Is that a forward pass or is it a fumble? If it's a fumble, it's Golden Eagle football. They're going to call it incomplete forward pass.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete forward pass.
Looked like he was trying to throw it to his left tackle. I don't know if I saw an eligible receiver there. He's inside the pocket. You have to see if the ball went past the line of scrimmage or it's intentional grounding.
Jay Hobson wants another look.
That looked lateral.
Rolling on the field was an incomplete forward pass. The previous plays on the video review.
It was immediate continuation of play. Carter, I think Southern Miss has a strong argument that that was a lateral and therefore a fumble. which would give them possession.
They have turned up the pressure on Trotter. He's made some good decisions. Boy.
Yeah, and just when we're complimenting the Jags offensive line, they were extremely porous on that one. The nasty bunch getting nasty and putting pressure on the quarterback, which was a strength of theirs last season.
All right.
Feels like it's the Buffalo Bills. Trying to look at the angle here. That ball looks to be just shy. About the 39-yard line. The ball was snapped on the 42. Remember, the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. So they would need indisputable.
Yeah, I'm thinking this was a tough one to overturn.
Really tough.
And this may be more of a stands rather than confirmed situation, because if it's forward, it is just slightly forward.
After video review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass, third down.
That's another tough one for the Golden Eagles. But the call on the field was a pretty immediate. Incomplete pass, forward pass, and therefore it will stand.
If you're Southern Miss, you're thinking pressure here, 3rd and long. You have to respect Trotter's legs. He can bail outside or through the B gap up vertically, maybe have a spy on him to make sure he doesn't beat you.
10th play of the drive is a deep shot. Trotter, it is hauled in. Tolbert has it. Touchdown, Jags. It's Trotter to Tolbert again.
Trotter throws a beautiful deep ball, but how about this route? Beating the one-on-one coverage and just turns and adjusts to the football. Scott has no idea where it is. That's really hard on him to locate the football. Went right through the hands of Tolbert, but fortunately hit him in the chest.
The PAT knuckleballs in. So a 73-yarder for Tolbert earlier. This one goes for 31.
The story a year ago was Desmond Trotter taking over this offense, breathing him life. His favorite target was Tolbert, and they picked up right where they left off. Take a look at what he's done. He's had some bright spots today, though, as well, early on. Feeding the football to Jalen Tolbert. These two were lockstep at the end of the year against Arkansas State, picked up right where they left off, and then Jalen Wayne shows up and holds his end of the bargain for what ends up being a back shoulder fade. Pushing off Scott, getting himself into the end zone, gives a 10-point lead, and despite the 2 interceptions, Trotter is maneuvering this offense beautifully.
And he loves finding Jalen Tolbert. Those 4 TD passes in the win at the end of 2019, all 4 to Tolbert. 2 TD passes tonight, both to Tolbert. So Jalen Tolbert now, first time school history player, has had 2+ receiving touchdowns in consecutive games. Jags been playing football since 2009. Short kick, fielded at the 10. Baker slips away across the 25. Baker takes it all the way to the 34-yard line. D. Baker with a good burst. Now, this is the discussion while we were in commercial between Jay Hobson and referee Wayne Winkler. They've had 2 critical calls go against the Golden Eagles. So you understand why Coach Hobson frustrated. He had the flip by Gore to Abraham, wiped out, and then a potential takeaway. And then now an injured player. I believe that's Luter, the corner, playing on special teams, and it is. That's Darrell Luter Jr., who is from here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And he's played well, but hobbling off after getting banged up on the kick coverage.
That's not a good sign, especially considering that Southern Miss is about to be back on offense. He's played a critical role in that defensive backfield. Going back to Jay Hobson, you're right to be frustrated. There were 2 critical calls, as you mentioned, and you have to be careful and hold your composure so you don't send the wrong message to your players.
Abraham, first completion of the second half, but goes for not much on the edge. DeMarcus Jones, junior from Vicksburg, gets 5 on first down. Devin Rocket makes a stop.
Short, high percentage throws are important to get the drive going. The last drive they started the second half with, they took a deep shot, were behind the chains, ended up going 3 and out. Here at 2nd and 5, playbook's wide open.
Abraham will hand off. Kevin Perkins, the 5th-year senior. Haven't heard much from him tonight. He has a first down. A running back by committee for Southern Miss. It's been a while since they've had Ito Smith, who's now a Falcon. Rushed for over 4,500 yards in his Southern Miss career, ending in 2017. So since then, it's been running back by committee for the Golden Eagles.
And Perkins is a big load of laundry. He likes his Waffle House. 6 foot, 234 pound, loves to pound him up inside.
Smothered and covered. Abraham back shoulder, knocked away and almost picked. Flanord knocked it away, and it was almost intercepted by Christian Bell.
This was just good tight coverage out on the outside edge. Flanord in lockstep with Tim Jones. These two have been battling all night. Maybe those sparkly shoes are helping them get in the hip of that wide receiver.
It's got to be the shoes.
Kids these days.
Oh, there's the jump man. Abraham pulls it, tosses it behind. That's a great grab by Jones. He pays the price with a hit from Riley Cole, but he comes back to get it.
And he's standing up, grabbing his shoulder. Is DeMarcus Jones, a little banged up, took quite the pop here. Which is a great play design off the play action. The split flow zone, backers suck up, creates that void for Jones to get the completion.
Gain of 10 Boyson, wide receiver. So tonight for the Jags, 2 of the 3 Boyson brothers are available. We may even see Keon get into the game in the secondary with the departure of Luter. 1st and 10, Abraham looking for Gunter. It is incomplete.
They tried to sneak him out into the flat a couple times tonight and been successful, but that time A.J. DeShazier was all over it. There's also immediate pressure in Abraham's face, so he smartly threw the ball away. 2nd and 10 after an incompletion is typically a down and distance that the defense expects a run so that the play caller can have a manageable 3rd down. Interesting to see what Southern Miss does here.
Keep it on the ground. Perkins gets a hole on the right side. Perkins has a first down with a tough, stiff arm. He wants to hear it from the Golden Eagle crowd. Got a good block from Jones, too. Gain of 15.
Smothered and covered is right. He ran right over Flanord on that one. That was their best run of the night, and it was physical to boot. Just that same counter play that's been stopped so much. No second level straight by the linebackers.
To the air, to the end zone. Incomplete, knocked away, and it's a fight. Rocket knocks it away from Brownlee. There is a flag down.
For the most part, these officials have been letting these receivers and defensive backs chicken fight their way down the field.
Pass interference, defense number 5, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
But not anymore. See Young right there. I don't know.
Well, they said 5, but it has to be 6. Rocket was there and covered. It has to be on Rocket. There you go.
I mean, there's equal rights to the ball.
Maybe the jersey tug.
A little bit there at the end and doesn't turn his head around. There's no such thing as face guarding, but this is a heck of an opportunity here for the Eagles.
Tonight's Red Zone brought to you by Verizon. 2 trips, 1 touchdown so far for the Golden Eagles. It was on the ground, had a second one wiped out. Jags rallying to the football, led again by Cole. I mean, follow number 4 for South Alabama. He's going to end up with the football.
Now, it was interesting on that last play, Carter. Everybody crashed on the back inside. Abraham was untouched. I don't know if there was somebody supposed to be responsible for him off the outside edge, but they may want to come back to this and run a keeper. He scored on a touchdown on Louisiana Tech that way. That might not be a bad play call down here in the red zone.
Gore limps off. Tate Wadley in at quarterback. Wadley going to keep it. Jags were ready.
They saw what I saw, but to your point, A.J. DeShazer again couldn't be fooled. They were a play too late with that play call. If they had just done that the play before, they would have been successful, but that is great force play on the end. Keep everything inside and in front. Get the ball carrier to the ground. Nice job by 3.
Abraham back in for 3rd down. Abraham throws it out the back of the end zone. Everybody was covered. So South Alabama has stiffened in the red zone now for the 2nd time.
They were great a season ago in the red zone, only allowing 56% touchdowns. But that coverage there with the 2 safeties, there was nowhere for him to throw the football. I almost wondered if Abraham could have tucked that and tried to run up inside. Credit, great coverage there for forcing this field goal attempt.
So Bourgeois comes out from 28, hit from 24 earlier. 3 on the board for Southern Miss. It's a 7-point game, but South Alabama keeps Southern Miss.
5 catches, 138 yards, 2 tugs, and he has been magnificent. Again, last year against Arkansas State, 4 touchdown receptions, all from Trotter that tied a school record. But he's great in the open field. He's an electric playmaker, has the ability to make people miss in space, but tracking the football and playing bigger. He's a tall guy, but he's not real physical. But when that ball is in the air, he comes down with it. Number 8 has been special tonight.
The junior from Mobile. So that's 6 TD grabs from Trotter in the last 2 games. And credit South Alabama for getting the football in his hands, including on special teams. He's back on kickoff return. Bourgeois after the field goal. Let's go. Kickoff. It'll be taken. Baker brings it out. And he gets very little. It's Lacey there who brings it out rather than Baker. But Shorts hustles down, and it's another long field for South Alabama. But they have been successful with long fields tonight, including a 99-yard touchdown drive. And by the way, that 99-yard drive, first time they've had a 99-yarder since they beat Mississippi State.
And that's really been the difference tonight is red zone production and conversion. South Alabama's done that. Southern Miss, 2 long drives coming up with field goals both times, not going to get you a win.
So started from the 12. Trotter dealing with the shoulder issue, playing through it. Wrestled down and tremendous pursuit. Wow. Bozeman, no gain.
There was some boundary pressure from the quarterback coming off that backside. Trotter feels it effortlessly. Keep your eye here. He comes, and Trotter feels it. He knows to step up. There's nobody back there to block him. The tackle comes off late. He has a great sense and pocket presence, Carter. Really impressive with the way he keeps his eyes downfield.
Pressure again. Trotter throws into the pressure. It's hauled in, but nothing there. Excellent tackle in space from Eric Scott Jr. on Jalen Wade.
That ball floats out there, doesn't it? Like there's no mustard on it. It takes its time. Been saying that since the first half. You know he's got the arm strength downfield, but just not ready to pull the ripcord on those outbreaking routes. Again, that could prove to be an opportunity for Golden Eagles.
Southern Miss a chance to get him 3 and out.
No pressure.
Trotter complete. That is first down, South Alabama. They wanted number one, you want the first down. They were arguing perhaps for face mask, but Crum, the tight end, makes the grab, move the chains.
It wasn't a horse collar, but it had the same effect where you get pulled down from your upper body over your legs. Good thing that Crum got his legs out of there. Crum missed the block earlier for the hit that threw the interception, but comes up big there to convert. I'll tell you what, Jags been masterful on third down tonight.
Baker in motion, fake it to him. Trotter, complete. This is Wayne. Out to near midfield again to the 45-yard line, and the Jags rolling right now. A gain of 16 for Wayne.
This play action really bites on people. Just see the great route run there, but you see the safety and the linebacker bite up on the play action.
And now Trotter going long, flags down. Going to get a pass interference, looking for Tolbert.
Jags hitting the tempo on that offense, caught me a little bit still talking, trying to catch Southern Miss off guard,
Pass
and pays off.
Defense number 18, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Natrone Brooks called for the 15-yarder.
Now, I really respect guys that play physical, but you have to be smart. You can't just put your hands on and knock Tolbert down and then put your hands up like, man, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. Got to be subtle with your holds and grabs and tugs.
I mean, still could have been the right play, but 15 when could have been another touchdown for Tolbert. So from the 45. Handoff. That's Lacey on the sweep. Lacey takes it inside the 40-yard line. Scott makes the stop.
It was a heck of a play there by Scott to disengage the block, get himself free, and come off that outside edge and make the tackle. It was blocked up beautifully. But Scott, there being the force player, does what he's supposed to do and comes up with the tackle.
Hands on hips for the Southern Miss defense. Now South Alabama chooses to huddle here. Let's see if they run it in a hurry on 2nd and 5. Fake it, toss it. Looking for Wayne, and it's incomplete. Wayne couldn't track the football. Himby there in coverage on Jalen Wayne.
Himby almost beat on that inside move. Almost. Ended up in perfect phase, and the ball clearly not on target. But another third and medium here for the Jags. This has been a down that they've been more than successful. 5 for 7 tonight. They like that short, controlled passing game to tight ends, getting Trotter outside the backfield, or receivers right between the hashes right in front of them.
Trotter on 3rd and 5. Back to the air. It is knocked away, incomplete. This time intended for Thomas. 4th down.
Thomas had a nice push off at the very end. I thought Trotter had a spot route maybe with Crum there, number 20. He pushes off at the very end right there, but not enough to be able to get his hands back underneath the football. Clearly not able to track as well as Tolbert. And credit Southern Miss D for getting a stop there, but here they go again, the Jags. I like this, being aggressive with the way that their defense is playing, particularly in the red zone. Why not go for it here?
Play clock winding, however. 5 seconds. 4.
Take the timeout.
Have to use the timeout, and they will.
Timeout. South Alabama, they're first. It'll be 30 seconds.
Now, in a situation like this, you lose the element of surprise and maybe some of the chaos that can be created if you get right up to the line of scrimmage. You have to make those decisions quickly. As a play caller, know that it's 4-down territory. Have the green light to do that so that you have a chance to take advantage of a defense that doesn't know what's coming. First road win in 3 years.
4th and 5, going for it again. Out of the timeout, and Trotter goes for it. Holden Tolbert makes another great grab in front of Brooks. 1st and goal, South Alabama. Another 4th down conversion.
Don't know what the safety's doing there. You got to get over there and help out. Tolbert's been killing them all night with those jump balls, going up and high pointing it perfectly. That's the concentration that we saw Thomas lack on the last play. How about the confidence, a deep ball on 4th and 5?
This one goes for 31, and now Trotter, the keeper on 1st and goal, takes a big pop. Orla comes in to get the stop.
Trotter carries for a 2-yard gain.
Trotter's hobbled a little bit. He doesn't look like his same mobile self that we've been able to see. Ever since he ran along that sideline, there was a little bit of a hitch right before he went out of bounds on that. And you wonder if he's just doing what a quarterback should do, and that's sucking it up and playing through some expected pain.
In his 5th career start, career high in passing. Tyre goes in motion. Give it to Davis. Davis tough running inside the 5. He's going to reach and stretch, but he was down. Malik Shorts, touchdown saving tackle.
I love that. It's the stretch zone. It gives the running back an ability to run laterally. When he sees the lane, puts his foot in the ground and goes. That right elbow's down, that right knee is down. You love and appreciate the effort by Davis, but a good call by the officials.
11th play of the drive. Desmond Trotter on 3rd and goal. Back of the end zone and incomplete. Out the back of the end zone this time. Tolbert got a advantageous matchup. However, this is Tyrek Moody who goes down. Did a good job in coverage on Tolbert, but Moody down for now.
Yeah, Tolbert was too close to the back line. The ball was too high. Had no chance to get that right foot inside the end zone. You see Moody immediately comes up gimpy. A little bit of a delayed onset to whatever that was.
So Moody will get some attention on the sideline. Nearby Petal.
Carter, when we came on the air, you mentioned the weather.
Yeah.
Here in the Pine Belt, the balmy 86-degree kickoff at 8 o'clock at night. These guys, there's no way with the abbreviated camp preparation that you could be in the condition necessary that you would have been had you had an entire spring, had you had a regular fall camp. A lot of this first 2 weeks was walkthrough stuff where you get the good classroom, but you don't get the reps and the conditioning that you need.
Guajardo 21-yarder, missed from much further out. Guajardo, 21-yarder, that is good. 3 more on the board for South Alabama. Golden Eagles hold them out of the end zone, including Asher O'Hara, who took over a big role, Middle Tennessee quarterback, over 1,000 rushing yards and 29 total touchdowns. One of the biggest weapons in all of college football at QB for Middle Tennessee.
Big shoes to fill. That Stockstill family has had a long and prosperous career there in Middle Tennessee. O'Hara had a heck of a year last year.
Rick and Brent. Asher from Rolling Meadows, Illinois.
All right, if you're Southern Miss, you need some sort of spark play here. South Alabama's not letting up. They're playing good defense in the red zone, and their offense, when they touch the ball, they're getting points. Golden Eagles need to respond.
From inside the 5, Tim Jones slips away. Tim Jones across the 30, skip along. He brings it out across the 40-yard line. There again, your spark play comes on special teams for Tim Jones. It's a 38-yard return for Jones.
In the second half to start, Southern Miss came out and took a deep shot to try to build off this momentum. It's going to be interesting to see the play call here. Do you take the cheap shot or the deep shot and try and keep it going, or put a methodical drive together that must end in a touchdown?
Best starting field position for Southern Miss. They've had 2 drives that went 10-plus plays that didn't result in a touchdown. Difference in the game. Abraham, hands off. Perkins, shoved back immediately. That's been the issue for Southern Miss.
Certainly has been. Improving the running game was something that they wanted to do. Less than 50 yards on the ground tonight. That's not the sort of improvement they were looking for.
5 tackles for loss for South Alabama, one of the worst numbers for Southern Miss last year. They gave up 7 tackles for loss per game, and it has not gotten better tonight. They're right on that pace. Abraham on 2nd and 11. He's looking long. Settles for a dragging receiver, McCoy, who's going to take it inside the 25. Abraham wanted the D ball, but McCoy dragging across. Makes the grab and turns it into a 34-yard gain.
You're going to see him come from the right side of the screen. Watch the way Abraham goes through his full read, comes back to his last outlet, hits him in stride, who then just turns on the afterburner. Those are the sort of spark plays that this offense has been missing. Not a long throw, but a big run after the catch.
So Jones on the kick return. And now McCoy. Inside of a minute to go in the third. Golden Eagles trying to come back at home. Abraham, Perkins, stopped again. Nothing. Cole leads the way. Goldman there.
These linebackers are biting hard. Might be a play action opportunity. The defensive lines winning their matchups up front. They're crossing faces. They're shedding blockers. It's an offensive lineman. You got to stay between the defender and the ball carrier. And number 12 and the rest of that crew, Riley Cole and the rest of those backers, Mobley, just leaving little room to run up there. Press coverage up top, single safety.
Abraham tips and almost picks. And it was knocked away by Flanord. Flag down.
I don't know if that could be on Flanord. That was equal rights to the ball, and he saw that ball leave the quarterback's hands before the wide receiver did. He might have played through his back, and that's what they called. But you see him smiling. He knew he should have had it.
Defense, number 1, automatic first down at the spot of the 5.
An opposing team penalty brought to you by the catering experts at Dickey's Barbecue Pit. We speak barbecue.
Yeah, he impeded his ability to catch it. Get your hand there and just knock it down without that contact with the right hand. And that would have been a heck of a play. Instead, it's first down.
6 seconds left in the third. Gore. Nothing again. It's DeShazer who makes a stop to bring the third quarter to an end. So we head to the fourth in our college football opener on CBS Sports Network.
The long hair too. That was a good look. I'm a little upset the wifey made you go to the barber before you drove over here.
I think the employers were more happy with the haircut. Yeah, I was starting to look like James Wood in Casino. And now we turn to 3rd and 8 for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. And this is critical because they have had only 1 touchdown in the 3 red zone trips. So this is a big one for Southern Miss.
Yeah, they've struggled on 3rd down and in the red zone. Here they got to play this both.
Abraham pressured, releases, and it's incomplete. It is off the hands of Ragsdale coming out of the backfield. And now you're 4th down in the red zone, down by 10. Still a lot of time. Going to take the points. Attempt to take the points.
Left tackle got beat that time. There was pressure right in Abraham's face that forced the errant throw. It was right there. A perfect Texas route by Ragsdale. But now again, another stall in the red zone, Carter. This has absolutely been the story of this game. The Golden Eagles' inability to convert when they get inside the 20.
And that one is no good. The hold didn't get down, and Bourgeois can't get it through. So you get 0 on this trip to the red zone. So you're 1 for 4 touchdowns, and now a botch on the snap and the hold, and Bourgeois. Snyder couldn't get it down. Bourgeois couldn't get it through. Jags hold.
One direction, straight to the top. Chosen one, racing the clock. They can't keep up, but you can solve. One direction, straight to the.
Rated PG-13. Exclusively on Apple TV+.
Tara, did you know Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies?
Wow, okay.
That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Idina Menzel to sing your own theme song?
Tara, Tara, look at her go with a fresh cup of joe, getting down to work early, following her dreams into taxidermy.
It's tax attorney.
I read that wrong, oh yeah!
Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th.
There's no such thing as a pretty eater.
You're a pretty messy eater.
I'm more of like a neat eater.
Flabber can eat in the car, so nobody can see that. Oh my God.
How are you guys eating so slow? I'm almost done. No, you have a giant mouth.
DiGiorno has 7 delicious crusts, and your family food critics will rave. Rising Crust is fresh baked deliciousness. Stuffed Crust is literally mouth-watering. There's a 5-star pizza for everyone in your family to love. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Time now for Pound for Pound, brought to you by Rogue Fitness. Jalen Tolbert, 195 listed, so this is an easy pound for pound. He's been the best.
He has been the best. He plays like a big-bodied wide receiver, even though he isn't very big. He's tall and lean and tremendously athletic, but his ability to high-point footballs and track the football and body contour is pretty impressive. How about that drop note there? 6 touchdowns in the last 2 games. That's money. And Carter, a key play on the field goal on Southern Miss's last possession was a bad snap that was low. It was hard for the holder to get it. He did the best he can, but the ball falls out of his hands right as it's kicked, and that's what forced the miss.
No pun intended.
That hair is sweet, though.
Yeah, you don't blame the mullet from Bourgeois, and I mean he's been working with the fader too.
There was a little bit more business than party, but it was still pretty good.
Davis, oh, it slips through. He's still tackled for a loss, but that's
a 1-yard loss versus a 3-yard loss.
That's some of the toughest and best running yards Davis has had tonight.
Makes the job of the play caller quite a bit easier, but credit Southern Miss there for getting some penetration there and playing on the other side of the football. They've struggled to do that, as you see Steve Campbell with a 10-point lead with 13.5 minutes knows that these next couple drives are extremely important.
Desmond Trotter. Pressure, but more space on the edge. Wayne makes the grab. He'll be short of the first down. Harrell makes a stop.
One of the things I noticed about Trotter is his eyes downfield. Watch the pressure. He's so poised in the pocket. Some pressure backside, pressure in his face, but he never drops his eyes. That's a sign of an experienced quarterback. He's only a first-year starter, started 4 games a season ago, so very little experience, but got some very good mechanics that allows him to be successful.
Quick snap, 3rd and 1, get it across. Appear to get it across. Both teams pushing, but that should be a first down. Now, Bozeman comes out of the pile with the football. But the call is first down. Take a look, not officially. Looks like first down, South Alabama.
And that's a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th and short situation that the Jags dialed up a sneak, put some trust in that offensive line. Southern Miss was pretty stout there. They didn't need much, and they got it. They're playing on.
Fake it on 1st and 10. Trotter steps up in the pocket, steps away, and puts a wiggle as he gets across the 40-yard line. Hobbs makes the tackle. Trotter now holding his hamstring. He had a shoulder issue in the 2nd quarter. Now he's holding the hammy a little bit.
Watch how he eludes pressure there. Bails straight up through the pocket in the B gap, but to your point, grabbing that hamstring, he's been hobbled since the first half, and now he's actually coming out.
So Chance Lovertich into the game for South Alabama, and again there was a question mark after halftime because of the shoulder injury whether Trotter would be able to go in the 2nd half. He has, but now you give it to Lovertich, but He won a JUCO national championship at Mississippi Gulf Coast. They have a lot of confidence in him. Lovertich going to hand off. Davis on the right side. Good push. Davis gets it across the 45.
His coaching staff has a lot of confidence in Lovertich. Let him come in right there at the end of the second half and throw on his first play. But here they give it to Davis, who's running really hard.
Another Golden Eagle down. This is, I believe it's Taj Sykes.
A big nose tackle up inside. Splits time with Josh Ratcliffe. 6'3", 308-pound redshirt junior. Columbus High School in Columbus, Mississippi.
Well, you can see Trotter trying to stretch out and the training staff trying to get him hydrated.
Bro, there's nothing that can get you in shape for football except football. And that was significantly compromised in the spring, in the summer, and the early fall. Don't know what happens here to Sykes. He's dropped his pad level a little bit. Ragsdale maybe got the best of that tackle. Excuse me, Davis. That's a big dude, man.
So Sykes comes off. They roll 3 at the nose. Chesser and Cole.
Holding his solar plexus. Trotter getting stretched out. It's really hot. Guys are dehydrated. Lovertich comes in. The coaching staff told us he's going to play. He's not real big, but he has earned through his play during camp, as crazy as it's been, the opportunity that he's got right now.
Baker goes in motion. Handoff on 2nd and 5. Stopped. Josh Ratcliffe makes the tackle.
Feel a little bit of the lull in the energy right now. Neither team really feeling juice. The Jags have their backup quarterback in. They've been pretty dang good, 60% on 3rd down tonight. Got a very makeable 3rd and 3. This is the first test of the night for Lovertich.
Lovertich, quick hitter, caught, first down. Baker slips free inside the 35. Baker will take it. Touchdown, Jags. 52 yards from Lovertich to Kawan Baker, and now South Alabama is in command in the 4th quarter.
And look at that body language. It looked like Lovertich bobbled it, but he didn't. It wasn't a snap that was on target, but he pulled it up, put the laces on the money to Baker, who then accelerated beautifully. And again, missed tackles for what looks to be a very tired Southern Miss defense.
Guajardo misses the PAT. The kicking woes continue. So Baker's from Atlanta. He plays for South Alabama, but he gives the Golden Eagles a little Mississippi half step up to the campus with that headgear. I'm not sure exactly what Seymour's going for there, but I don't think he's achieved it. And that's kind of part and parcel what it's been like for the Golden Eagles tonight, trying to keep up with these Jags, these explosive South Alabama Jaguars.
It's one of our keys to the game. We'll revisit it later, but defensive coordinator Tony Pecoraro for Southern Miss said we cannot let them beat us up over the top. And that's exactly what's happening here. And you combine that with the lack of red zone production offensively for the Golden Eagles. That's why they find themselves down like they are.
Worth repeating, South Alabama hasn't won a road game since 2017. I don't think called for a fair catch. Well, they're going to blow it dead anyway. But I'm not sure if he called for the fair catch. But regardless, let's see if we can sort this one out.
Maybe considering that, giving himself up.
Yeah, it's TQ Newsome.
Yeah, no wave off, but definitely gives himself up.
So they did blow it dead. We'll make sure we get the spot right. But Newsome, I mean, I know he's practiced there, but Newsome is a linebacker, so you're not
Game
used
clock
to.
operator, please reset the game clock to 10 minutes, 20 seconds. Please set the game clock to 10:20.
Do you think they're having fun with that fair catch?
And then I was like, and then he was like, and then I was like.
Major work to do for Jack Abraham and the Golden Eagles. Rolling. Goes out of bounds with just a yard. But, I mean, willing to reiterate here, we know it's a different year and it's a different opener, but South Alabama, they were 1-7 in the Sun Belt last year. They've won 3 conference games in 2 years. They haven't won a road game since 2017. They were big underdogs in this one, and yet they have come in and taken it to the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, and really when we expected Southern Miss to have a response and come out firing, hasn't been the case yet. Jones holds it in from Abraham. Bringing the fight late.
This is just a receiver doing what a receiver does. Here he is right here, gonna work and beat the coverage of the safety. Just one-on-one. The sluggo, the slant and go, and just completely discombobulates the defensive back. And that's been the combination that's been best so far tonight.
Gain of 42. Abraham lost the football, has to hop on top of it. And boy, it was nearly given away by Abraham. Bell nearly got on top.
Ball just slips out of his hands. It happens, but great home bounce. Goes right back to the breadbasket.
I mean, if you would have said Abraham doesn't turn it over, no INTs, and you're down 29-13 in the fourth. Brownlee, screen, blockers ahead, freeing Brownlee, takes it just inside the 20. It's another red zone trip for Southern Miss, but here's where the problem is for the Golden Eagles.
We haven't seen much of the bubble screen game tonight. This offense a year ago was more of a deep vertical threat. We just saw that. But that's a nice switch up. But to your point, this has been the Achilles heels for them.
They're going to mark it just outside the 20, but now it's officially a red zone trip where they have only 1 touchdown out of 4 trips, 2 field goals, and 1 miss.
This is an important set of downs here for South Alabama. If they can get a stop here and force a field goal, it makes it really hard for Southern Miss, and it gives them a big emotional blow. And if you're the Golden Eagles, you get a touchdown here to get back into 9, maybe go for 2 to make it an 8-point game. You're back in this deal.
Perkins takes a handoff. Cole makes the stop near the 10.
He's the big bruiser. Southern Miss not rushing up to the line, being methodical, making sure that they protect the football and execute. 3rd and 1. Turn around, hand it to big 33, let him move the pile.
Abraham does just that. Perkins gets enough. It will be 1st and goal for the Golden Eagles.
South Alabama defensive coordinator Greg Stewart runs a pretty simple defense. He says his philosophies are stance, alignment, technique. No bells, no whistles. I just want to line up and play, and his unit's done a great job. Can they find a way to force a field goal, get off the field here?
Abraham pulls it this time. Takes it inside the 5. Big pop as he gets to the 2. I mean, took a lick from Trey Young, but Abraham, toughness never in question. 2nd and goal.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more of his legs tonight, but he's pretty effective when he runs.
Give it to Perkins. Shoved back at the goal line. It will be 3rd and goal for the Golden Eagles. Struggling to punch it in again.
And if you're Southern Miss, I don't think you try to run this football. Abraham's your best offensive player. He led the best passing attack in the Conference USA a season ago. Don't be stubborn down here. This defensive line for South Alabama's risen up. You got your best player right there. Try to get him the football.
Another 10-play drive. Can they finally get it in? Perkins pushing, stretching. He appears to be and is just short. It will be 4th and goal. And no question you're going for it on 4th and goal at this point, and the Golden Eagles trying to avoid.
Look how gassed they are.
Yeah.
They're tired, man. They're playing with a lot of heart, but they're tired.
Twice they've already had 2 10-play drives that didn't result in touchdowns. Now, big time timeout before it's snapped. South Alabama gets the timeout in.
Heads up play that time by their leading tackler from last year, Nick Mobley.
Before the snap, timeout, South Alabama, they're second. It'll be 30 seconds.
That was confusion. They didn't know what was going on. They wanted some bigger bodies in there because they expected the quarterback sneak that eventually came. You see Mobley right there. No, this isn't right. That's heads up savvy veteran leadership there.
4th and goal, you're clearly going for it. Now, Perkins is the big back. This may be, I mean, the timeout South Alabama was needed because personnel-wise they were discombobulated, but also gave Perkins a break. You pointed out, I mean, Perkins is really, he's taking some hits down here by the goal line. He's your big back, 4th and goal. You have the option Abrams, Perkins, and this may actually be a bit of a break to get a breather for those guys as well.
And it also allows Southern Miss to get their thoughts together about what it is they want to do. If they want to be stubborn and try to run the football again, so be it and go for it. The Jags defensive line has largely won this matchup. Give this staff credit for trying to force this football, but you need a touchdown here. With that short of a distance, lean on the big guys and let them push this ball into the end zone. They ran a sneak there. Abraham got across the line of scrimmage even though the timeout was called. But it's needless to say, partner, this is the most important down offensively for Southern Miss tonight.
And Perkins is not in the game.
He's their big bruiser.
So it's Ragsdale. Handoff, touchdown. It's official, touchdown, Southern Miss. Now the timeout has also given you a chance to discuss your 2-point and which play you want to go with if you do go for a 2-point conversion.
It wasn't by much, but he got that football across the plane in for the touchdown. But to your point, and we said it a couple plays right here before they scored, go 2-point conversion here, which they are, makes it a 1-score 8-point game.
Driver gets it in, and now on the 2-point play, it's a toss, and it is good. The 2-point conversion. Baker hauls it in and pays the price for it. They had it all lined up. It was Driver who takes it in, and then Driver who tosses the 2-point conversion. Baker makes the grab, paid the price, but he gets the 2 points, making this an 8-point game. So it was all about the Driver. Narcus gets into the end zone for the touchdown, and then he tosses it on the 2-point convert for South Alabama. With an 8-point lead, Southern Miss does have those 3 timeouts, but first they have to get the stop.
And that's key. And that's why if you're South Alabama, you dial up your best stuff. Davis has been running extremely hard. You have maybe a less ability to use Trotter's legs, but Jalen Tolbert is a guy they can prove to go up and get it. Little cat and mouse here, but dial up your best stuff and move these sticks and bleed as much of that clock as you can, hopefully ending this drive like you have most of the night, and that's with some points.
South Alabama hasn't punted tonight. Just the 2 INTs by Trotter. Only time they've been stopped. Davis brought down. Maples, well, he's been tough for Southern Miss tonight. He's twice left the game and twice come back. That outside linebacker, Hayes Maples.
That was 12 personnel there running that counter, but that Southern Miss defense, they've been money against the run over the last years, and those are the sorts of plays you need. Dialing up a 2nd and 10. Now the scales are tilted in favor of the Golden Eagles.
South Alabama can take it inside of 5 minutes if they want to. No rush at this point with an 8-point lead on the road.
Nice job by Trotter bleeding this clock. Calls it a little bit late. Might have been too long there. They got to get the snap off.
Trotter gets it off. Hands off, Davis across the 30. He has a first down. Davis all the way out to midfield, and he's still rolling. Carlos Davis takes the Golden Eagles with them inside the 35.
Carter, there was some incredible efforts there. The zone read, Trotter hands the ball off to Davis, but keep your eye on number 1. Look at the effort. He follows here. At first it's Davis, who's smart enough to stay inside, comes back inside, but look at Trotter banged up, the quarterback downfield trying to help his guys out. You think they want this win? That is an incredible effort. And if you're Southern Miss, you cannot afford to do that. Big plays have plagued them all night, and it gets them again here late in the fourth quarter.
That is Muscle Shoals. Just outside of 4 minutes. When you snap it on first down, give it to Davis again. Why not? He earned it. Scott Maples in on the stop.
Maples has played tough all night. A nice job again on first down by Southern Miss. 2-yard gain. Can they do better on second down than they did on that last drive where Davis busted a long one? Southern Miss is best when it's aggressive, when it's playing across the line of scrimmage. When it plays downhill, they've got to do that here.
Davis now has more rush yards than Southern Miss does.
Free
Second
play.
and 8 flag down. Here is the free play, and here's the shot. And it is incomplete for Tolbert, but you take it on the free play.
2nd and 8, now it's 2nd and 3. Critical error again.
Offside. Defense number 2 made contact with an offensive player. 5-yard penalty. So second down.
All right, 3 timeouts for Southern Miss.
Correction, third down.
It's 3:31, but it's starting to get late. If you can get South Alabama into a third down,
The foul was on number 3.
You start
Still
thinking about
second
using
down.
a defensive timeout, potentially at the 3:31 mark. At least it now enters into the equation.
And you don't like that body language right there by Eric Kitchen, number 2. Clearly frustration setting in for the Golden Eagles. You have to get your composure back.
And meanwhile, for South Alabama, you convert and you can start bleeding those timeouts from Southern Miss.
No question.
Trotter gonna hand off. That's Avery. He has the first down, has it to the 21-yard line. Well, the clock stops temporarily moving the chains. And so, I mean, not much of it, maybe 5 seconds, but that's now Southern Miss certainly needs to think about the defensive timeouts to preserve clock. But the bigger challenge is just stopping South Alabama.
They can't do it. Davis off that right side. I'm surprised they didn't take a timeout there to let their guys regain their composure. You have 3, you know what South Alabama's going to do, bleeding the clock. But right now, you got bigger problems if you're Southern Miss than how many timeouts you've got, because you can't stop the Jags.
Trotter's going to hand off. Avery tiptoeing his way. I mean, he was slipping away from the Golden Eagles so much that his right tackle, Estes, almost made the stop on the play. But second down, no timeout yet from the Golden Eagles. So you're going to roll it well down under 2 minutes and no timeout. You got 3 of them. Down by 8, you have to use some defensive timeouts at some point here.
I thought they should have used it a play ago, and now they're just letting it bleed down. You understand, you know what the charts say, but your defense hadn't been able to stop these guys. Look at Trotter bleeding the clock perfectly. Southern Miss, you got to make a play here.
Trotter hands off again. Avery stopped. There's the first timeout with 1:50.
Southern Miss, they're first.
And 3rd and 6. Ball game could be on the line.
There's a bank in the Gulf South just for you. It began with a few people caring about community and relationships and doing business with friends.
Look at the landscape that is as we kick off the 2020 season. So we've got to that odd score 29-21 in part because of some woes in the kicking game. I mean, neither of these teams has a reliable kicker. Guajardo has missed a PAT. He's missed from 46. This is his first game as the placement kicker. So 3 on the board for South Alabama is not a given. So that factors into these decisions as well. Southern Miss has 2 timeouts, and you think they should have at least used one more?
Just to regain their composure. They had to take it. You understand saving it to the very last minute, but to me it seemed like the defense was tired and frustrated. I would have liked to have seen a timeout taken much earlier.
On 3rd and 6, keep it on the ground to run the clock. Nothing much doing in the ground game. There's the timeout with 1:46. So 4th down.
Southern Miss, they're second.
Do you have more confidence in your offense to pick this up on 4th and 5 where they took a deep shot and let their quarterback throw it downfield and converted? Or do you let your field goal kicker get up there, which isn't a given at all?
I mean, they have not Southern Miss haven't been able to stop you so far, and we'll take a look in a moment. The kicking woes for South Alabama. So that was maybe on the holder, but this is all plays in because there's the missed field goal from Guajardo, who again kicked off last year, but taking over placements, and then a missed PAT. So, you know, all of that, and you're going for your first road win since 2017.
You don't hold back after everything that everybody in the country that plays this sport has gone through. If you want to win it all, you got to risk it all. Put the ball in your best player's hands, Desmond Trotter, and let him try to do it. Instead, they elect to kick the field goal. I don't think this is smart at all. I would have much preferred to see Trotter have a shot to convert this.
Well, confidence in the kicker to see if, and the special teams unit, it may have been tipped, but it is good anyway. There is 3 more on the board. And it would take a miracle now for Southern Miss with 1:40, 1 timeout, and down by 11. So they show a lot of confidence in Guajardo, and he boots it through. Wow. So Steve Campbell in South Alabama. This is a momentous opportunity for this program.
And it is a completely clean operation. The bobbled missed snaps that plagued them earlier were gone, and Guajardo drills it. It wasn't pretty. It took its time to get there, but it got through. And Steve Campbell absolutely loves it. This is the turning point in the win that this program needed. All eyes in the country watching this team. If they can hold on here, this might be the exact thing the doctor ordered for a team that was looking to turn the corner.
I mean, that smile says it all. You closed 2019 with a huge upset win over Arkansas State. Fair catch. Got it this time.
Well, Carter, let's revisit these keys of the game. South Alabama's offensive line won their matchup. No sacks allowed from a team that had 39 a season ago. And the defense, with all those young guys up front, more than handled business, especially in the run. Protect the football. Great job by Southern Miss, no turnovers. But the explosive plays. South Alabama had 8 of 15 plus. 3 of those were touchdowns. Those touchdowns averaged 52 yards apiece. The passing defense woes that plagued the Golden Eagles a year ago are back with them in 2020.
Well, for South Alabama, we talked about the big wins in 2016. Mississippi State, San Diego State. That was under Joey Jones. This would be, Brownlee hauls it in. This would be the biggest win in the 2 years under Steve Campbell, in the 3 years under Steve Campbell now. And Southern Miss is going to fight it all the way to the end, but South Alabama really brought the fight, including late. The Jags have scored on all 4 possessions of the second half.
We talked to him about this game. He said, man, to get to this point, it means so much. We need to play. If it weren't for football, I wouldn't have went to college. I was the first in my family to go. It means everything.
And we've talked about how football provides opportunities. That's loose. It's scooped up.
Down.
I mean, in a variety of ways tonight, we've talked about what college football means and the bigger picture, and that's exactly right. When Steve Campbell's saying, hey, what does football mean to me? It means everything. It means life, education, a job.
For all of us, man. How about this, breaking that streak since 2017, the longest active streak in college football without a road win is about to get broken.
Less than a minute to go. Abraham checked down. Prevent now for South Alabama. No mistakes, nothing over the top. Clock is your friend, scoreboard's your friend.
Everything's your friend right now. Just don't do anything stupid. Keep everything inside and in front. Make Southern Miss earn it. But again, talking to Campbell, so what'd you talk to your team about through all this adversity? And he said, man, I used a boxing analogy. Learning to make it to the next round, guys. We just got to stay in the fight. Let's stay injury-free. Let's do the little things. Let's not get contact traced out. Wear your mask, social distance. And here they are, with possibly on the verge of the biggest win for him so far in this program.
Abraham takes off. He's going to take it inside the 20. He's going to take it inside the 10. He gets out of bounds with 43 seconds showing.
Not so fast. Those were the wheels of Abraham that I mentioned at the very top of this broadcast. Very underutilized in my opinion, but they're there when he needs them, and that was a huge play.
Longest run for Southern Miss tonight.
The red zone woes that have plagued him, Carter, can they overcome them? Too many field goal attempts when they get down inside the 20. They need 2 scores here, no matter what, but you'd like to start with a touchdown.
Abraham on the roll, just dumps it out. 36 seconds.
So now you're trying to figure out, since you need 2 scores, you got to get the onside kick and score again. How much time are you willing to compromise getting that touchdown? But you also want to take it out of the hands of your kicker. The options in time are starting to tick away from Jay Hobson.
But for Southern Miss, if you can't pull off the miracle, this is an ominous start. Abraham, that is caught by Brownlee. He's short of the end zone. He's tackled. 1 timeout left for Southern Miss. Now going to stop it here as Cole is slow getting up. That may be the stoppage.
Timeout. Southern Miss.
Okay.
They're 3rd and final. It'll be 30 seconds.
So, I mean, that's a heck of a play by Cole to tackle Brownlee. I mean, he hits hard every time. Cole gets the brunt of this one, but also tackles Brownlee short in play, forcing the Golden Eagles to use that final timeout.
Huge stop. And Cole's somebody that's battled injuries mostly his entire career. Last year stayed relatively injury-free and had a heck of a season, 5th on the team in tackles. This year they move him back inside. But again, defensive coordinator George Stewart couldn't have been more complimentary to the attitude and effort of Riley Cole. It was a huge stop there.
Leader in every facet for South Alabama.
So if you're South Alabama, you're talking to your hands team right now, telling them to get ready.
Seymour's not done.
Bro, we talked about it, man, at the top of this broadcast, how grateful we were just to be here. All we wanted for 3.5, 4 hours was to see football again. These kids, these coaches, this community, everybody in the country has wanted and needed exactly what we've got here.
And who knows?
And who knows?
We might not be done yet.
Greatest sport on the planet.
Abraham, 3rd and goal. Pumps, scrambles
Diller.
at the 5. He's shot. There's no
Diller.
timeouts left for Southern Miss.
Can't clock it. You either got to get your field goal team on or take a shot to the end zone as quickly as you can to preserve that clock.
I mean, just
your best players right here.
2-score game, 10 seconds, no timeouts, no matter what happens on 4th down. It is knocked away, and South Alabama gets the football and the win. It will be a stunning opening road win for the South Alabama Jags, their first road win since 2017.
Just outside the outstretched arms of Marquise McCoy, this wide receiver core almost entirely rebuilt. So many young first-year players, and they end up miscommunicating for the ball game.
Oh, he's trying not to smile right now, Steve Campbell, but this is huge for the Jags.
And let's take our hat off to Jack Abraham, man. What an incredible night. 22 for 32, 314 yards, but no touchdowns. He avoided the interceptions that plagued him towards the end of last year. But this is going to be a tough one for Jay Hobson and the rest of this crew. They fought hard, but not well enough.
Trotter will take a knee in just his 5th start at quarterback for South Alabama. He leads the upset win on the road to begin 2020, snapping the 15-game road losing streak. And they do it in decisive fashion, 32-21. Well, we don't know how many college football games we're going to get and what they're going to look like in 2020. But I guarantee you, for the South Alabama Jaguars,